Hi friends and students. So this is the playlist for the Java 8 feature. So from different sites and different articles, I just made it and I think it will be beneficial for your upcoming Java related interviews. So one by one, I will make several videos. So in this lecture, I will just elaborate about the important Java 8 feature, which is Java functional interface. So I will tell you about the Java functional interface and along with that some frequently asked questions for several companies. It can be startups as well as MNCs as well as product based. So basically what is the Java functional interface? So this is one of the most important Java 8 features, and it is a new feature in Java 8, and it's very much important in Java. Actually, through this functional interface, many things we can do easily. So we need to learn and we need to grasp all the concepts regarding this functional interface, as it is one of the most popular feature of Java 8. So in this, the Lambda expression you will learn. So for this as well, functional interface, Lambda expression, the connectivity between these, okay, that you also need to learn. So moreover, they also promote functional programming in Java, and without functional interfaces, you cannot imagine to write a code of Lambda expression and method references. Just I have told you that there are some internal connectivity between the Lambda expression and functional interface. So the functional interface is so much important. Through this, you can learn the Lambda expression as well as the method references. So in fact, introduction of default and static methods inside an interface in Java 8 itself has completely changed the definition of interfaces. At previous, inside the interface, only abstract method was there. But through the functional interface, you can use as much as default methods, as much as static methods, but the abstract method should be one there. So inside your functional interface, there will be only one abstract method, but there can be many default or static methods. This is the main core fundamental concept of the functional interface. So next, I will just explain about some frequently asked questions, that how many types of interfaces are there in Java? What is a Java functional interface? Is it not mandatory to add abstract keyword during method declaration in functional interface as we generally do in interfaces before JDK8? Why Java functional interface? What is the advantage of Java functional interface? Some examples of Java functional interface. How to write a Java functional interface? What is the behavior of functional interface in the context of inheritance? What is the functional interface in context of Lambda expressions? Means I have already told you the functional interface with the Lambda expression. Next, example to convert traditional code to the code using the Lambda expression. So without Lambda expression I will show, and also with the Lambda expression I will show. Next is, can a functional interface have multiple default or static methods? I have already told you that there can be multiple default or static methods inside functional interface, and that's why it's the popular. Before that functional interface, under interface, you should have only one abstract method. But after the invention of this functional interface, there can be many or multiple default or static methods inside the functional interface. Then what is the significance of the functional interface annotation? Then can we use the functional interface with the method references as well? So these concepts I will teach you today. So the first one is, how many types of interfaces are there in Java? So in previous, normal interface was there, marker interface is there, and from Java 8, functional interface is there. So from now, three types of interfaces are there. Maybe in future, different kinds of interfaces may come, but for now, these three interfaces are there: normal interface, marker interface, and functional interface. So what is the normal interface? Which has either one or multiple number of abstract methods. However, marker interface is an interface with no abstract method, because till JDK 8, an interface can have only abstract methods, no normal methods. We use it to provide a type to its subclass for executing some logic from other classes. And additionally, functional interface is an interface which has only one abstract method. Further, it can have any number of static default methods and even public methods of Java Lang object class. So in fact, we use it to define Lambda expression method references by directly providing logic to an argument of a method. And through this functional interface, your code of lines will be less than our legacy Java code. Okay. So now what is the functional interface? So if an interface will only have one abstract method, we call it a functional interface. The content method is called functional method or single abstract method, which is SAM. Consequently, they provide target types for Lambda expressions and method references. Moreover, Java 8 contains some built-in functional interface designed for commonly occurring use cases. They are available in a separate package, which is Java util function. Hence, we don't have to create our own functional interface every time for a small use case. Note that instances of functional interfaces can be created with Lambda expressions, method references, or constructor references. So, in addition to single abstract method, we can also have any number of default or static methods inside functional interface. Moreover, we don't have any restrictions or including object class public methods inside functional interfaces. We can use any number of object class or public methods. So there are several kind of methods we can use, like equals, hash code, notify, notify all, toString, wait, get class. So next one is it mandatory to add abstract keyword during method declaration in functional interface as we generally do in interfaces? So at before, like in normal interface, to declare any abstract method, we have to use the abstract keyword before that. But here, it is not mandatory to add abstract keyword during the method declaration in the Java functional interface or in a normal Java interface. Even before JDK 1.8 also, it was optional. So when we apply interface keyword before the name of the interface, all methods declared in this interface become public abstract by default. So in previous as well, it was optional, and from now also it's optional. So whenever we just use the keyword interface before any interface, by default, all the methods inside this become public abstract. So therefore, it's up to the developer whether he or she adds it or not. So it is not mandatory, it's optional only. Next one is, why Java functional interface? What are the advantages? So we provide implementation of functional interfaces using Lambda expressions, and Lambda expressions can only be used in context of functional interfaces. So basically, for the Lambda expressions, we are using the we can implement the functional interface with the help of lambda expressions. So you can assign a lambda expression to a single abstract method, that is the functional interface. So if you could assign a lambda expression to an interface containing more than one abstract method, that is a non-functional interface, the lambda expression could only have implemented one of its methods, leaving the other methods unimplemented. That's why lambda expression don't have method name, return types, so as it talks about a single abstract method. So basically, for the implementation of the functional interface using lambda expression, and lambda expressions can only be used in context of functional interfaces. So you can assign a lambda expression to a single abstract method. That's why lambda expression don't have method name return types. It always talks about only one single abstract method. So if you could assign a lambda expression to an interface containing more than one abstract method, the lambda expression could only have implemented only one abstract method. Other methods will be unimplemented. For this reason, functional interface came. So therefore, there is no point of having more than one abstract method in a Java functional interface, as they are meant for lambda expression, and lambda expression could be assigned to a single abstract method. Some examples of Java functional interface. The first one is runnable, which has only one run method. Comparable, contains only compare two method. Action listener, contains only action performed method. Callable contains only call method. Item listener contains item state change method. Now, how to write the Java functional interface? So in addition to having only one abstract method, we should write the functional interface annotation in order to let the compiler know that the interface is a functional. In fact, if you add annotation functional interface, the compiler will not let you add any other abstract method inside it. So suppose this is the interface, functional interface. Okay. And inside that, this public void m1, this abstract method means m1 public abstract method is there. So above this interface, you have given the functional interface annotation. Okay. So these functional interface annotations will allow you only one abstract method, like for m1. So there will create no issue. But if you are giving this annotation and inside this interface, you are giving or adding two public abstract method here, like one is m1, then one is m2. Then this functional interface will not allow you, means the compiler will not allow to give multiple abstract methods. So whenever you are giving the functional interface annotations over any interface, then compiler only allow you to use only one abstract method, single abstract method. If you will give multiple abstract method, then you will face compilation error. So this is the behavior also. So what is the behavior? So basically, if an interface extends functional interface and the child interface contain any abstract method, then that child interface will become again the functional interface. Suppose this is the functional interface annotation, and suppose interface A is there, and inside this only m1 abstract method is there. Now the interface B is extending the interface A. So for that case, here no abstract method is there. Okay. But as this interface B extending the interface, which one was functional interface as and which one has the abstract method, Then as the child interface extending that parent interface, which was functional interface, that's why this interface B becomes the functional interface. So in the child interface, we are allowed to define exactly same single abstract method as it is in the parent interface as below. So functional interface B extends A public void M1. In other words, the child interface will not have any new abstract methods. Otherwise, child interface won't remain a functional interface. So if it will have any new abstract method, then that child will not become the functional interface. And if we try to use functional interface annotation in child interface, then you will face again the compilation error. If we don't use the functional interface in child interface and declare new abstract method, the compiler will consider it as a normal interface and will not show you any error. Like if you are doing the interface B, which is extending A, okay, and this A is your parent interface, and which one is functional interface. But here new abstract method M2 is there, and here also you have not giving any annotation for functional interface. Then you will face no issue. But if you are putting the functional interface here, then you should give the same abstract method under this. Otherwise, you don't give any abstract method. So the two cases are there. So suppose one interface A, which is public, which is functional interface, and which one has one abstract method. And if the child interface is extending that parent functional interface and you are giving the functional interface annotation above this, then the child, if the child will have no abstract method, then also that child interface will become the functional interface. And if you want to use any abstract method in that child interface, means child functional interface, then you just put the same abstract method inside that one. For that case, you will not face any compilation error. If you will put any other method like here M2, okay, here line number 97, here suppose you are putting M2, then you will face the compilation error. So if you want to avoid that compilation error, then for that case you have to remove this 95 number line, means that annotation. Which one is this one? I think you understood the behavior of the functional interface. If you have any issue, just comment down, I will explain again. Then functional interface in context of the lambda expression. So we can assign the lambda expression to the functional interface. So if we have an interface with a single abstract method, for that one single interface, means for that single abstract method, we can use the lambda expression with that. So suppose interface A is there, one abstract method is there, M1, and suppose a class demo implementing that interface. Okay. So inside that, the same abstract method is there, and you are printing that M1 is executing. Next, the main method is inside the test. You are making the object of A and you are calling that M1 method. This is the legacy Java code. But for the lambda expression, suppose this interface is there. Okay. So here we have implementing that interface, right? So basically here for the main method, you have to do like that. So that main is there, then a of a, okay? Then that lambda expression is here. Then system.out.println m1 is executing. Here not required that one. Through this only you can just implement the above interface. Okay, I think you got it. So this is one example for converting the traditional or legacy code to the new code with the help of lambda expression. So again, I'm using the another example. So without the lambda expression, suppose interface sum is there and one method is there inside that, and you are taking two parameters inside this a and b, and one class sum implementation which implements the sum interface. So inside that you are printing the sum of these two numbers, and here this is the main method. So with the help of lambda expression, you need not to write that one. So you will just put the interface and just do the main method over that. Like here you have created the objects of that. So in the same way, just this class test and sum is object and a comma b parameters, and after that you just apply the lambda expression and just print over it. It's simple. Your line of code decreases. So next one is it mandatory to add abstract keyword during method declaration in functional interface as we generally do in interface before JDK 1.8? So this one we have already discussed that it's not mandatory. It's already up to the developers. So this is not mandatory. Here we have discussed, right? Yeah, it is not mandatory. Before the 1.8 also, it was not mandatory. Because if we will just add the interface keyword before any interface, inside that the method will by default become the abstract. Okay. So the next one is, can a functional interface have multiple default or static methods? Yes, obviously, a functional interface can have multiple default or static methods. These methods do not have any impact on its status as a functional interface. Then why? Then what is the significance of this functional interface annotation? This is also optional but recommended. So for the documentation purpose and as well as to denote that that interface is specifically a functional interface to uh, declare that this is the functional interface, and inside that one single abstract method should be there. So because for the documentation purpose and to help to understand the compiler to identify a functional interface, it is recommended to give the functional interface annotations. It also prevents the accidental addition of more abstract methods. So suppose in a program or in a code, suppose one developer had already added one functional interface, but he forgot to add the functional interface annotations, and mistakenly the second developer or the next developer added there multiple abstract methods inside the interface, then it will give the compilation error, right? As inside the functional interface, you cannot add multiple abstract methods, only single abstract method should be there. That's why for that case, the developer will face some issues, right? So it is recommended but optional to add the functional interface annotation. Next one is, can we use the functional interface with method references as well? Obviously. So functional interfaces are intended to be used with the Lambda expressions and method references. And also I will show some examples during the explanation of the method references. We will use the functional interfaces with method references. So that's all for now. Just keep watching, keep practicing. You can ask more questions as well under the comment section regarding this functional interface. No other topics. For specific topics, ask specific questions. Okay. So I think it's helpful. So we will again catch up with some other Java 8 features. Till then, just support. Thanks.